Smith.
Counting it down with 7, 6, 5, and it's all over. Wynnum-Manly, the 1982 Grand Final winners, have defeated Souths by 17 points to 3.
And there it is, Des Morris, the man on the sideline. What a happy boy. And my 2 George Simon suit winners. If we can find them in the melee, we probably can't. DJ's almost crying, I think. Wynnum-Manly, Brian Walsh. Walsh coming into his own, and what a great game. Rodney Morris being chaired from the field. So my 2 George Simon suit winners, the two top players in this 82 Grand Final. For Wynnum-Manly, Brian Walsh, and for Southern Suburbs, Ash Lumpy. It was great to be here.
Hello everyone and welcome to Lang Park, and this is the big one, the grand final between Souths and Wynnum-Manly. That's an aerial shot, you can see what it's like from upstairs, but down here on the ground the atmosphere is electric as the build-up for this tremendous match, and a huge crowd at Lang Park and lots of red and green out there. Let's have a look at the two teams with George Doniger.
Wynnum-Manly first, and of course Wynnum-Manly have got their full side out, the side that got them through to the grand final. There's the boys in the dressing room now. The only injury cloud was Gene Miles. Miles did sustain a very minor injury to his ankle. He's okay. He'll definitely be on the field right from the word go, looking for a big game from the big fellow. If he does get injured, his replacement will be Brad Samuelson. They're going to leave Walsh at 5'8". He's playing too well there, said Des Morris. So their team that's put them through to the grand final at fullback, Colin Scott, Terry Butler, 3 tries last week, and Warren Green on the wings. Brett French and Gene Miles in the centres. The halves also going very well, Walsh and Dawes. Sean Johnston is locked forward. Seaton and Batiste, the second rowers. And Zillman, Morris and Green make up the full complement. That's the countdown for the reserve grade, you can hear. And Redcliffe have just won the reserve grade by a point, 11 points to 10. The Southern Suburbs camp, well, of course, without Bruce Astle, a big loss. Astle has captained this team in every game for the last 4 years, and they're going to miss him. Powers at the lock forward position, but they're still confident, and it's still a very good side and a very tough tackling side. Here's the full complement now. Spencer at fullback, Thompson and Chalice, the speed on the wings, Meninga and Belcher, what a job they've got. Harry and Sully are the halves, and 2 good halves. Alan Power playing lock forward. I thought Argyris might go in there, but Power is definitely playing lock forward. Tessman back in the side for his first A-grade final. Lumbia there to the second rower. Higgs and Grinky the props, and Billy Johnston the lock forward. Okay, grand final day. Here is the kickoff.
Don't forget to turn yourself off, Tony, will you, mate? Although I mightn't hear you anyway, the way this bloody crowd's going. Christ almighty. Wynnum, that's all I can hear. Wynnum. Well, this is it, the 1982 Brisbane Rugby League Grand Final. Gene Miles puts it high in the air to Ken Spencer down there to take it for Souths. Souths coming from the northern end of the ground. And this is it. This is the testing material. All the previews, all the dissections of the teams, all the interviews, everything's gone. It's just what happens with the two teams of 13 out there on the field here this afternoon. Never heard a reception for a team at Lang Park ever, as we just heard for Wynnum-Manly, George.
Unbelievable, Billy. I have been here for the last 13 or 14. And the Wynnum-Manly cheer when they come out, it's I've still got a few goosebumps, as a matter of fact, and I don't know damn who wins. And what a reception.
Well, there's a kick by Mal Meninga deep downfield. He got barreled into the process. This is Terry Butler, the man who scored 3 tries for Wynnum last week. He brings it up to midway between the quarter and halfway, down inside Wynnum-Manly territory. Gene Miles, well wrapped up. Coming in underneath there was Belcher. From the play the ball now, David Green, the dummy half. That's Zillman coming through. He's going to be one of the danger men.
Oh, Tessman almost knocked Sully out.
Well, there was about 4 of them went for him. From the play the ball now, Rodney Morris. He's going to carry a lot of the weight of Wynnum-Manly today, but look at that Souths defence. Very willing in the opening part of the match. 10 metres from the halfway mark, still in Wynnum-Manly territory as David Green comes up to dummy half. That's Brian Batiste. Souths getting up very quickly in the opening part of this match. Final tackle coming up now. Dummy half, David Green. Swings it away. Gene Miles, he's going to put the boot right underneath it. Look at that for a kick. There's Spencer back there. Takes it coolly. Nice take by Ken Spencer. Decides to run. And he rundled up to about 25 metres out from the Southern Suburbs line. Well, both teams have powerful centres that are kickers, George.
Yes, and I spoke to Des Morris before the game, and Des Morris's plan to win this game was to use Miles as much as he could to keep the play down in Southern Suburbs quarter, but the most interesting part of his plan was that he was going to use Zillman and Batiste to run at Bruce Harry. He considered that Harry is probably the easiest man to break through, and he's going to use Zillman and Batiste to run at him and maybe unload the ball if possible. So we'll see if it comes off.
Well, that's Johnson who threw himself there at Gary Grenke on the way through. Billy Johnson, dummy half. That's Bruce Harry. Puts the boot underneath it. Driving it down there for Colin Scott to race across. Can't get it. Nice kick. Good work. And Southern Suburbs putting the pressure on Wynnum in the opening part of the game.
Obviously, both coaches are going to try and play the game in the opposition's quarter. And I didn't have a chance to talk to Southern Suburbs, but I was over there during the week. And they're going to try and contain Wynnum-Manly for the first 20 or 25 minutes, which the other teams couldn't do. We'll see if they can.
OK, they won this scrum, which is more than some of the other teams have been able to do. That's Brad Sully caught at the back of the scrum, but they've got possession, and that really helps. This is Chalice. Chalice deciding to have a little bit of a run, but not for far. Got away from one tackle, still going as a south swinger. Great run there by Chalice.
Got away from the tackle of Seaton. What a go.
18 metres out now from the line. A loose pass picked up by Bruce Harry. Harry straight ahead is going to be put down. He'll get up to play it now. Dummy half is Billy Johnston. South looking nice and positive in the opening part of the match. Here's Meninga. The big fella trying to bullock his way through. Sent a loose pass. Gary Thompson dives on it. Meninga injured in the tackle. Down at the moment. Belcher getting it across over there, this time to Power. Power to almost on the quarter line. Clouds coming across over centre field here at Lang Park. Meninga, as you can see, walking back into the field of play. Sully sending it across to Bruce Harry. Harry got away from Miles, got it around the corner. This is Belcher to Thompson over his head. Got to be a penalty.
Offside. Yes, offside. Just talking about Meninga. Meninga hasn't injured his elbow. He's went down pretty heavily in the tackle, and he's just holding onto his rib cage on the right-hand side. There he is. Maybe just a little bit winded, but probably a bit of an injury there as well. But good news is it's not his elbow.
Yeah, he did fall on the right-hand side, so there's no worries there. Gee, Souths are looking positive at this stage, George.
Wow, are they ever?
Anyway, Wynnum in possession. Souths have got to keep the pressure on them, but here's one of the men that could turn the tide for Wynnum-Manly. That's Zillman. Has been in top-class form as of late. From the play the ball, Johnson. That's Sean Johnson, the lock forward for Wynnum-Manly, not to be confused with Billy Johnston from Southern Suburbs. Rodney Morris. Wrapped up eventually. Bumped out of the first tackle of Brad Sully, though. David Green to dummy half. 4.5 minutes of the match gone so far. Seaton losing it. It doesn't look good. I don't like Wynnum when they're like this, George. They've made a couple of mistakes so far. And
well, of course, that was the plan of Southern Suburbs, was to contain them. And I spoke to Des Morris also about that. He said, look, we've got 80 minutes to win this game. He said, if we haven't got any points on for 70, I don't care, as long as we're in front at the end of 80. So we'll see what happens from this scrum.
Wynnum-Manly get it, and quickly Dawes bounced out of the tackle of Power, but quickly going to be wrapped up by Bruce Harry. From the play the ball now, this is Brian Walsh. He was the wizard last week. No chance of finding a gap there. A little bit more willing, this Southern Suburbs defence, and some of the defence that Wynnum have found in the last couple of weeks. That's Johnson bringing it up to about 12 metres short of the halfway mark. From the play the ball, David Green sending it back over there to Dawes. This is Miles. Miles dummies, can't get through though. Players flying everywhere. Penalty coming up to Wynnum.
Yes. Penalty against Johnston, Billy Johnston, for tackling the man without the ball, and it was a correct decision. He came through and tackled Scott. Miles dummied to Scott, and Johnston didn't take the dummy. He said, well, I'll just in case he does pass it, put him down, but I got the penalty against him.
OK, kicker's going to find touch over there, just short of the halfway mark. An enormous crowd here at Lang Park. And I've never seen so many photographers on the sideline, George. I think the Catholic leader and the war cry must be represented here today. They're everywhere. OK, let's see now. This is Rodney Morris, about 8 metres inside Souths territory. Settling it down now. Couple of lapses in the early part of the match for Wynnum. Oh, gee, Rod Morris just put one on Grenke there. Meanwhile, a scissors movement here, and Batiste is going to be the one to end up with it. Goes to ground a couple of metres inside Souths territory.
I think it was Tessman on the receiving end of it.
Was
Billy? Yeah.
He
didn't miss him anyway.
No, he gave him one, that's for sure.
He must have done something to Rod Morris, because Morris is normally pretty cool, even though he cops plenty of punishment.
It was a bit of a knee, I think, in the play the ball. Go to lose it, Wynnum-Manly. Colin Scott coming into it. Meninga dives on top to consolidate for Souths.
Not a good pass from Rod Morris on that occasion.
Meninga slowly getting back onto his feet after he dived on that one. He landed on the same side as he did before.
I think he's a bit more injured than what we consider. In fact, I'm sure he is. He's moving very slowly back, holding his side, and golly, if Souths have to lose him, that'll be just too much to take, won't it?
It certainly will. That's a bustling run by Adrian Higgs, getting it up to about 5 metres from the halfway mark. Brad Sully turning it back inside. Ooh. Coming through as Harry. Dummy half this time is Billy Johnston. They've worked it up to just about on the halfway mark. Johnston's going to take a grubber kick. Warren Green's back there to take it for Wynnum, though.
Well done.
Green running across field, still going across field. Now he straightens up, buried it a nice tackle too. Driving into him on that occasion was Brad Tessman from the play the ball. Johnson's lost it.
Did they put some ball down in the first few moments? That's the third error from Wynnum-Manly, the third unforced error in this first 7 minutes.
They've been a bit scrappy, haven't they? And usually, George, if they start that way, they don't come good. I don't want to throw the mocker on them at this early stage, but when things go their way, they're brilliant. This is a Souths ball. Power coming from the back of the scrum.
No, he's lost it.
Lost it. Coming away with it was Dawes, the halfback. This is Gene Miles. Harry's over there, taking him rather high. And so too is Brad Sully into the tackle. From the play the ball. No points on the board as yet. 8 minutes gone in the match so far here at Lang Park. That's Brian Batiste. Plenty of defence there to put him down. He's one of the danger men, of course. There's quite a few of them in this Wynnum side. That's Gary Seaton. Penalty coming up. Wynnum.
Yes, they were inside the 5 metres in defence. And as I said on Sports World this morning, I consider that Eddie Ward is the right man for the job to control this game and put the control in inverted commas. He's got very strong control of the game, and I'd say that Miles is going to look for touch, and Meninga's receiving attention. You'll see the camera come past him there. Meninga's receiving attention over there on the sideline, and what a kick from Miles, 10 metres out.
Yes, it's a powerhouse kick from Gene Miles, and puts Wynnum-Manly in a good spot now to put on some real pressure onto this Southern Suburbs defence. Remember, they're one man down with Meninga receiving attention but coming back into the field of play.
We'll see if they use Zillman. He's standing well back.
Okay, Wynnum-Manly only about 5 or 6 metres out. Back to Dawes, decides to go himself. No chance of getting through. That's Harry and Sully there.
Maybe this time.
Chance for Wynnum in the opening part of the match.
Here he comes.
Over to Zillman, turns it away to Gary Seaton. Seaton going to be locked up about 8 metres short of the line. David Green to dummy half, trying to slip through. No chance. Sully underneath. Grinke in the tackle also, but they're edging closer to that line.
Last tackle.
Seaton from the play the ball over to Dawes. He's going to put up the bomb. What's it like? Not the
Terrible.
best of them.
Terrible.
Going backwards, isn't it? They all go up. Coming away with it is who?
Butler.
No one.
Knock on.
Knock on. Double knock on, as a matter of fact. It was Alan Power trying to take it. So now, with just 10 minutes of play gone in the first half, we see Brad Sully to feed the scrum. In by Sully. It'll be a Souths ball too. Round the back, trying to find a hole, but Dawes came across nicely.
Scrums 2-all.
So that glut of possession that Wynnum have been getting in other matches as lead-ups hasn't eventuated as yet. Of course, there hasn't been much between these two hookers throughout the season. That's Adrian Higgs, fighting his way towards the quarter line.
Actually, it's very interesting to note, Billy. I took, our scorer took out some statistics for the last 4 years for these two teams. And can you believe, in 4 years football, the scrums are 133 each.
Oh, goodness gracious.
It's unbelievable.
Is that right?
So that's you can't get much closer than that.
You certainly can't. That's Brad Tessman. Ooh. Sent a pass on then to Power coming through. Power caught up from the play the ball now. Southern Suburbs to Bruce Harry, who's going to kick for touch. Can he find it? No. Warren Green's back there.
Well done.
The Wynnum-Manly winger runs it up, but Chalice is there. Got it back to Walsh, however. Walsh across to Colin Scott. Colin Scott running backwards now as Belcher's out after him. He got away from Belcher.
Oh, yes!
Now here's the gap coming up. Prince up over the halfway mark. And to Butler, and Butler's away. Terry Butler will score. There's no doubt about it. And Wynnum get the first try of the match underneath the post.
Wynnum-Manly draw first blood. Terry Butler, the try scorer. And it was actually a missed tackle on Colin Scott that did it, but also a great pass. There's the try scorer, Terry Butler. And here it is. You'll see Scott come across. And Belcher had hold of him. Belcher grabs him now, and Scott gets away from him. There it goes. Just long enough to start a forward movement. He gets the pass away, but it's the next pass that does it. It's the next pass that does it. French goes away. He's only got the fullback to beat. A bad position for the fullback. You can't do a thing about it. Terry Butler's got 30 metres to run, and there's no way in the world he wasn't going to score as soon as Scott got the ball out to French. It was a try, and here comes the kick. Over! 5-0. We'll have a look at it again from the front on, because then you'll see the way that Scott got out of jail, as a matter of fact. Here it is. He goes across and backwards. There's the quarter line. You can see him running backwards, quite obviously. Belcher gets hold of him, lets him go. He draws two in, and away goes French because Belcher's gone. Belcher was on the ground, and just the pass to Butler, perfect pass, and Terry Butler, a perfect finisher. There he goes, right round under the post, professional football, and first try, 5-0, and back with the action.
Okay, and it's back into the in-goal area here for Wynnum-Manly, and it'll be a drop out from underneath the goal mouth. Yes, that was great work, because Gary Thompson had to leave his wing, and that, of course, left Butler with the saloon passage to the line. Okay, well, plenty of excitement. The crowd came here to see it, and they've got a try on the board for Wynnum-Manly very early in the match after only 12 minutes of play. Here's the drop out from underneath the goal mouth, a big high one carrying back to the halfway mark, but Spencer's underneath it nicely. Spencer stepping his way up the centre now, but a nice tackle coming in from Gene Miles to put him over. Dummy half is Billy Johnston. Wynnum with a lead of 5-0. Sully to Lumbie. Lumbie almost got out of the tackle over there at David Green.
Interesting to note, Billy, that the players that Des Morris feared most were Sully, Lumbie and Meninga. And he didn't elaborate on why. He said, I don't let to single them out, but he said they're the three guys that can make it for him.
Billy Johnston working across field, was toying with the idea of sending it back inside, but eventually tapped over there by Johnston. So that's Brad Tessman over to Mel Meninga. Meninga got it away this time to Alan Power. Back inside. Meninga's got it inside. And is eventually put to the ground. Some of the players followed on right over the touchline there. But it's Mel Meninga getting up to play it. He's not 100% fit as Meninga.
He is injured.
Sully getting it back to Harry. Harry now gets it away to Belcher. He's lost it. Dived on by Dawes. Wynnum in possession on their own quarter. Meninga will have to leave shortly, George. I'm sure of it.
Yes, and I wouldn't be surprised if Argyros comes on and Power goes to the centres.
All right, well, here's Colin Scott with it now, getting up to play.
Bad luck.
Well, he's had bad luck in big matches, hasn't he?
Yes, there's a movement, and Billy Argyros is moving on the sideline. And what a blow for Southern Suburbs.
Here's Mark Zillman cutting up the centre.
As if Bruce Astle not playing wasn't enough, and now Meninga having to go off.
Back to Gary Seaton. Seaton getting across to Brian Batiste over the shoulder this time of coming through there, Scott. Eventually Butler will regather. Final tackle coming up. Gary Seaton to dummy half. Seaton bumps away from Gary Thompson. Eventually sets sail over in centre field and put to the ground. End of the tackle count, and we'll have a scrum coming up. Just a little bit of a vigorous tackle, nothing out of order there.
Argyros limbering up on the sideline.
Meninga looking to the sideline.
Meninga's not looking at the sideline. He said, I'm staying here as long as I can.
Here's another Souths ball. Sully gets it across over there to Bruce Harry.
Oh,
now
yes!
there's a gap coming through nicely as Belcher away to Meninga. There's nothing wrong with him now as he gets over the quarter line. Back inside this time to Chalice. Chalice over the top to Sully. Sully going to be pulled down 8 metres out.
Good football. Great football.
From the play the ball. Belcher dummy half. Swings it away this time to Chalice, cutting back inside. He's trying to dodge and weave. That's no place to do it. Dummy half coming up is Ash Lumbie. He's injured in the tackle.
Get up, says Ash Lumbie. Get up.
Get up and let it get back here and let's get into action. Brad Sully turns it back inside. Billy Johnston. 5-0 Wynnum leading, but a chance for Souths as they put on the pressure. From the play the ball. Back over this time to Sully. Sully to Harry. Harry decides to go himself, but no chance of getting through. Well covered there. Mark Zillman, the front row, the man to do the job. Back to Brad Tessman. Tessman going to be pulled down about 10 metres out, and the final tackle coming up. Alan Powers up as dummy half. Power going to send it to Sully. Then to Meninga. Quick hands. Belcher. Belcher going to be pulled down. Final tackle. Enterprising piece of play from Southern Suburbs.
Meninga staying on. They're trying to get him off, but he won't go. They're calling to him now. You see him behind the play. They're calling him across, and they're going to talk to him and just, I think, make an assessment after they've spoken to him. He's gone to the wing, talking to the Southern Suburbs strapper. There he is. And he's probably saying, I'm all right, pal, leave me here, whatever you do.
Well, he certainly forgot any injury worries when he broke through there. So now it's Mel Meninga to kick for touch. And they go back a little bit, as a matter of fact, Southern Suburbs, and we'll take it up from there. But it looks as though the message has gone back to Bob McCarthy that Big Mal is going to stay there as long as he can. This is Higgs. Adrian Higgs taking it up for Souths. They're about 10 metres out. Settle it there and get on the move. Billy Johnston from dummy half to Sully. Johnston doubling around. He's through almost. And kicking and dodging and flying and everything. And a no dummy half, but Higgs has just arrived. Johnston fighting for that line. Truger effort coming up here. Back over this time to Grinky, well hemmed up there by the Wynnum-Manly defence. He'll play it. Billy Johnston to dummy half. Bruce Harry turns it back to Spencer. Not quite sure where they were going to go on that occasion.
So Harry's playing very well. As Des
lost, ball has been lost.
Yes, as Des Morris said, the reason he worries about Harry is because when he turns on a blinder, as we know, he turns on a blinder, and he's playing very well so far into this game.
In by Peter Dawes. This will be a Wynnum ball. Dawes quickly going to be taken over there. Matter of fact, they were flying around to get him was Tessman. This is Johnson. 5-0, Wynnum-Manly leading. Well, they haven't had that big splurge of a start this time, George, but they've got 5 on the board, and that's better than the North that is beside Souths at the moment.
Some very threatening clouds coming across too. We could get a downpour before the end of the game.
Peter Dawes sending it away this time to Gary Seaton. Seaton flicks it back behind him, a bit of a risky bit, but it's going to be taken back there by Terry Butler. Now, Gary Thompson chased him and kept with him and put him down too.
Good defence.
From the play the ball, Green over there to Dawes, to Walsh. Going to be taken by Harry, and Harry let him know about it too. From the play the ball, Green, final tackle coming up. Here's Gene Miles. Gary Thompson going back there. It's going to bounce away from him, so he eventually runs around to pick it up. He has Ken Spencer with him. Now puts it on. Thompson through the gap nicely, cutting back inside. Where's he going? Nice run. From the play the ball now. Ash Lumbey will be the dummy half. To Sully. Harry. Can Souths do something here? Over the top, taken by Meninga.
Here he goes.
Meninga through the gap. He's up over the quarterway. He's pushing it away. Left, right and centre. Ball rolling loose. Going to be taken by Green, but a penalty Souths.
Offside. Correct decision. Eddie Ward going very well thus far into the game, but golly, if they can keep Meninga on there, they're a chance, because when he runs like that, he's very hard to stop.
Just had to struggle to get back to his feet again. He's putting in a big effort. And Billy Johnston says, have a shot at goal, Mal. You can get an idea of where he is. About 10 metres in from touch and about 24 metres back from that line. Well within kicking distance for a kicker of the calibre of Mal Meninga. What's that, mate? Righto.
I wonder what he's done. He must have done something to his cartilage in his ribs or something.
Yeah, it looks like his ribs for sure. He's getting up slow when he goes.
Yeah.
Did you see? Then he was fending him away from behind him everywhere.
Oh, that's...
Mal Meninga with not a great deal of support from Lang Park. The kick is on the way. We'll wait for it. Waved away. Taken by Colin Scott in the in-goal area. Scott runs up to Belcher, and Chalice coming across also, and they'll put him down. From the play the ball, Terry Butler. Back over there to Sean Johnson, the lock forward. Dummy half is David Green. Green across to who? Peter Dawes. Dawes eventually put down. About 20 metres out from his own line now. This is Mark Zillman. See that Harry's doing some work in defence.
Notice that Mal Meninga's out on the wing. I wonder if they're going to play Chalice. No, he's moving back in now.
Here's the kick by Miles again, downfield. Going back is Ken Spencer. He'll take it nicely. And starts to move. And eventually the first man to go at him was Gary Seaton, who could have hurt himself in the tackle.
Hurt his arm.
He's down on the ground at the moment. Gary Thompson away from dummy half. That's Brad Tessman. Tessman working his way up towards the halfway mark. One thing about Souths, whenever put that kick downfield, George, it doesn't take them long to recover the territory.
They have done it very well.
Johnston coming up as dummy half now. 5 points to 0. Wynnum-Manly lead. That's Higgs. Dummy half is Billy Johnston, works the blind side, going through, still got it back to Meninga, hurdling players, still going. The big fella looks for support. Oh, Miles sucked him in. Call for it, got it. Lumbie's out after him. Oh, gee, that was a bit of bad luck for Souths, but full marks to Miles. He called for it and got it.
That's right.
And just when it looked as though Souths were going to get in, Wynnum-Manly have saved the day. So that's Mark Zillman. Well, Meninga might be injured, but he's had a big bearing on this match so far. Rodney Morris to Scott.
Oh, yes.
Put down a couple of metres from halfway.
They're putting Morris on the ground, Southern Suburbs.
Cross doors to Walsh, to Miles, to French. French stepping back inside. He's found a gap up the centre. But Harry is over there to put him down.
By geez, elusive, that French. He's very, very quick off the mark and very elusive.
Gary Seaton back to Green. Coming across field to Rod Morris.
Oh.
Take it outside of doors. Centre pass back the other way. Zillman to Batiste. Batiste, legs knocked right from underneath him by Higgs. Final tackle. Gary Seaton, dummy half. To Walsh. No, yes, eventually to Walsh. Puts in a grubber kick. Picked up over there by Chalice. And quickly put to the ground by Warren Green, the opposite number for Wynnum.
Having a good game, Chalice. Involving himself, he and Thompson.
That's
getting in whenever they can.
Belcher going through there. Johnston to dummy half. Swings it over to Sully. Johnston doubles around. Now he finds Tessman, loses it. Straight in the hands this time of Zillman. And Zillman going to be held up ball and all a couple of metres inside South's territory. From the play the ball, Green to Miles. Gene Miles, legs taken from underneath him again, and the man to do it once again was Adrian Higgs. Green to Rod Morris. Morris around the corner, Butler loses it, picked up by Meninga, the big fella down the touchline, still going is Meninga. Almost into touch by Johnson, but he managed to find his way back infield. Good play. Touch judge comes in, something happened in the tackle.
Well, I must admit it's right in front of us, and I didn't see anything. It must have been very quick.
David Green is the man being spoken to by referee Eddie Ward. And a penalty Souths. Gary Thompson taking this kick. Usually it'd be Meninga, but he's got his own problems out there at the moment. Johnston across to Brad Sully. Sully getting through to Gary Grenke.
So I'm saying about Grenke, he runs hard at the line, but doesn't unload the ball once he hits it.
Is Adrian Higgs. Higgs will be pulled down about 25 metres out now from the Wynnum-Manly line. Can Souths cross for a try? We'll see. Coming through is Power. Power working up to the quarterway. Ooh, back over there. Harry will eventually come away with it. Touched by the opposition, so away goes Bruce Harry. Up to the quarter line. This will test the Wynnum defence from here. And we'll see whether they're up to the mark or not. Billy Johnston coming up as dummy half to Brad Sully. Sully through the gap.
Yes.
He's away. Still going. Lumbie. Lumbie going for the line. Reaches out. Try. Try.
Yes. Billy Johnson's happy. Lumbie's happy. And so is Brad Sully. As soon as Sully got the ball, he's a great little competitor, Brad Sully. And he knew exactly what to do with it. It'll be close when the ball goes down. I thought Lumbie lost it from him. Watch the pass. Look at it. Just cuts him out. Straightens up. Goes infield. Two hands to it. Lumbie's just going to run to the corner. The cover comes across. That's Scott. He's got him by the legs. He puts the ball out. Oh, from the front on, we'll be able to see it a lot better. But that was a good try, and the one Southern Suburbs need to get them back in the game. 5-3 now with the kick to come.
Meninga, the man, placing the ball. Couple of metres in from touch.
Meninga sets himself 5 points to 3. Can he make it 5-all?
We'll get a good idea from here. The ball's now way to the left. Way to the left-hand side of the upright, so it remains Wynnum-Manly leading Souths by 5-3.
Let's have a look at the front on replay now. Here it is. As soon as Sully gets it, he's working his mind. Oh, look at that. He comes back inside, back out again, Lumbie. Watch it, slow it down, and Well, that was a rolling try and a fair try. He didn't put the ball out. He landed in front of the ground, in front of the line, and his momentum took him over. So a fair try, good refereeing, and 5-3 the score.
Back onto the halfway mark, ready for play to reopen, and that's one that Souths needed. It's got them right back into the match. Gene Miles to Spencer. Fullback's had plenty of work, but he's handled it quite well. Beats the first tackle, that of Johnson. Can't get away from David Green, though, and also Brian Batiste. Billy Johnston coming up as dummy half. He'll swing it to Sully, then across to Brad Tessman. Tessman wrapped up over there in centre field. 13 minutes remaining in this, the first half. Thompson to dummy half. Sully. Still going the little halfback. Billy Johnston coming up as dummy half. Johnston back over to Harry. Harry dummies. Can he get through the gap? Yes, he can. Lumbie overran him, unfortunately.
Well, Des Morris's worst fears are coming true. Harry's having a blinder.
Picked up beautifully by Mal Meninga. The boot coming underneath it now. It won't find touch, I don't feel, because Warren Green's back there. Green's starting to move, and look at Souths up there very solidly. Chalice ripped the ball out of his hands. A penalty to Wynnum.
Once again, a correct decision.
There's Bruce Astle on the touchline. And he, of course, has been assisting Bob McCarthy during the week with the preparation of this side. And I'd say that they'll be on fairly happy terms with themselves. They're not leading, of course, but they're still looking pretty good.
They're doing it very well. I'm very impressed with their form so far. Their tackling has been hard and decisive, and they've contained this big fellow thus far into the game. Des Morris' plan to run him wide hasn't really had time to work because they've been getting up and knocking him down very quickly.
Mark Zillman to play it. David Green is dummy half. Rod Morris. Morris straight ahead, struggling his way through. Dummy half coming up is Green. Green to swing it back to Seaton. Seaton looking to link up with Batiste, but then eventually went himself. Batiste cutting back infield. David Green to Dawes. Miles. Miles across to Colin Scott on the bustle, but they've got him well contained. Harry from one side and Sully the other. He's done a lot of work in defence so far as Bruce Harry. Johnson up to about the quarter line. Final tackle coming up now. Dummy half is Green. Gets it away to Zillman. Well wrapped up though by the Souths defence. The end of the tackle counts.
Gee, I really have never heard... Oh, Zillman goes again. I have never heard so much sustained barracking in a grand final. The noise usually stops after the kickoff is taken, but it's just kept going for the first 30 minutes of this game. It's excitement unlimited out here.
Unbelievable atmosphere, that's for sure. Brad Sully to feed. In by Sully. Taken out by Sully. Ken Spencer. Johnson across there nicely, as a lock forward should be. Alan Power comes up as dummy half. Got a bit of bump to the head there, did Johnson in that tackle. Wrestled to the ground by Walsh. Dummy half Johnston. Harry. No chance of getting away from Brian Batiste. Dummy half is Billy Johnston. 2 points the difference. There's a big run by Gary Grenke. Johnston to dummy half. South steadying it down. 10 minutes to go to half time. Alan Power. Dummies. Now trying to get around the corner to Tessman, but couldn't because Dawes was there. Tessman to dummy half. He'll work the blind side though. Going to be tackled by Dawes getting underneath, and eventually Rod Morris to finish off. Billy Johnston to dummy half. Johnston to grab a kick is going to find touch and brings play up to about 10 metres inside Wynnum-Manly territory. Now those scrums going there, George.
Scrums at this stage 3-all. Nothing in that department, and penalties favouring Wynnum 4-3.
Okay, we'll wait for Dawes to feed this scrum. A bit of trouble at the moment. Down they go. In by Dawes. This will be a Souths ball. There's a hand in there somewhere. The referee wants another scrum. Repack. Couple of metres over in centre field. There's a good shot of the scrum. Referee was going to give a penalty, but Wynnum have won it.
Actually, since the game has started, the wind swung right around. South started with the wind in this first half, and now they've got it against them.
Well, I guess they've got something to look forward to in the next half.
That's right.
Green is dummy half. That's Gary Seaton up to the halfway mark.
He's been very, very quiet in this first half, Gary Seaton.
Well, some of their stars of the last couple of weeks have been, but they haven't been given that room.
Meninga seems to have recovered somewhat too. He's not near as in much as pain as he was before.
I think that try may have made a bit of difference. His French saw no goal forward there.
Well, they might be wrapping Gene Miles up, but Brett French is a very elusive customer, and both teams are playing real grand final stuff. A good, clean, hard game, and there's opportunities being put down on both sides.
Brad Sully feeds the scrum out the centre. Referee wants it in again.
If we can get a wide shot, both back lines are right up flat. No one's, there it is, no one's out deep to try and score off this scrum.
Penalty coming up to Wynnum-Manly.
Gary Grinky seems to have sustained a bit of a cut to his bottom lip there.
Here's the kick for touch by Gene Miles. Now, can Wynnum-Manly take it up from here? 7 minutes to go to half-time.
Hey, yes, I was watching that. Eddie Ward, the Southern Suburbs players were creeping up. They didn't go back the full 10 metres. There's no two ways about that. They're only back about 6 to 7 metres. The touch judge was actually waving them back with his flag, saying, get back, get back. Eddie Ward come up and awarded another penalty. And, of course, they can kick for goal from here.
Rod Morris had no hesitation in telling David Green to stop going for that quick tap. We want the 2 points. And the way Green has been kicking as of late, it's certainly not beyond him. He hasn't had any pressure on him yet. Warren Green coming up for the shot at goal. It's on the way. It is there. Straight as a gun now. Straight through the centre. And Wynnum-Manly move away 7-3. Never looked like missing from the moment it left his boot.
Well, Des Morris's summing up of his opposition players who are going to be his danger men are pretty spot on, Billy, with Meninga, Lumbey, Sully and Harry all having great games.
Yes, they are. They're putting it together all right. That's Colin Scott. A little bit of a juggle there just to keep the fans on their toes. Gets it up to the quarterway. We haven't had any rain as yet, but it's been threatening, quite dark overhead. From the play the ball, Gary Seaton. Grinky coming in underneath. Over the top is Alan Power. Green, Zillman.
This time, oh, no one there in support. He's done all the work, Mark Zillman, and no one there.
Eventually put down by Power. Here's a kick by Peter Dawes. Through the hands of Chalice. Now, what's he going to do? Set sail through and pull to the ground just short of the halfway mark.
My golly, he almost got through as well.
Brian Walsh just got him down, the last-ditch effort. That's Mel Meninga from dummy half. The big fella thrown to the ground, just inside Wynnum-Manly territory. Just under 5 minutes remaining, and Wynnum leading by 7-3. Ooh, forced back in the tackle this time. A little bit is Higgs from the play the ball. Power sends it back to Grinky. Gary Grinky.
Got the ball away this time, but looked terribly forward, but let play on.
He knew that you said he doesn't pass, George.
Oh, no, I think he's a good promising footballer, but he has to learn to hit the line and pass the ball, not just hit the line.
Johnson flying through over there to put down Brad Sully. Final tackle coming up. Power from dummy half to Harry. Harry sends a long one to Lumbey. To Meninga. Meninga stepping back inside, but well wrapped up. And so we'll have a scrum a couple of metres inside Wynnum-Manly territory. So now we see the incorrect feed. And so a penalty to Southern Suburbs. Malmaninga. Kicker's going to find touch. About 30 metres out now from the Wynnum-Manly line. Well, Souths, 3.5 minutes to the half-time break. Desperate to get a try. And let's see what happens. Not a great deal at that stage. That's Ken Spencer. Dummy half is Billy Johnston to Ash Lumbey. Johnston doubles around. Lost the ball. Picked up by Miles.
Gee, he's been Johnny on the spot 3 times now, Gene Miles. Capitalising on drop ball.
And a bit of a push and shove between he and Ash Lumbey. Rod Morris. About 8 metres from the halfway mark. Dummy half David Green. Mark Zillman. And eventually put to the ground just inside South's territory. From the play the ball. Doors to Walsh.
Oh, yes.
Dummies.
Does well.
Almost through. Went over the top of Billy Johnston on that occasion. Green to dummy half. Walsh making out he got a bit of a bump there.
He did.
Well, the referee didn't agree. Final tackle coming up. Rodney Morris takes it straight ahead. Tight defence from Souths. And that's the end of the tackle count. So we'll see a scrum about 5 metres inside Southern Suburbs territory. You can see just 2.5 minutes remaining. Wynnum leading by 7-3. Referee Eddie Ward going to repack this scrum. Crowd settled down a bit, George. They're not quite as...
Well, might have gone horse.
I wouldn't be surprised. Penalty Wynnum. South moving off the mark again. Penalty Wynnum.
Well, this is a very important kick for Gene Miles. With 1:40 left in the first half, he has to put it right down in the corner. And Seagulls have got a minute then to try and score an extra try before half-time, and Southern Suburbs got to hang on for dear life till a half-time break. They're about 17 metres out.
Now the crowd will start to warm up a bit. David Green takes the tap. Gary Seaton. Seaton fighting his way for that line. About to play it now. Dummy half is David Green. Green sends it back to Dawes. Dawes to Walsh. Walsh wrapped up in the tackle of Power and Tessman.
4 left.
About to play it. David Green, dummy half. Just a minute of play remaining to the half-time break. To Miles. Miles still going. Ooh. I thought he was going to have a go at passing it then.
3 left.
Right at the death. Green to Colin Scott. Higgs throws himself at him, just knocks him off balance, so he's going to be claimed eventually.
South's got to hang on for 2 more.
From the play the ball, David Green back inside to Gary Seaton. Seaton up the centre, put down a couple of metres out. Final tackle.
Morris is indicating a field goal or something. And Green didn't know what was going on, so took the tackle.
And they ended up with nothing. Okay, 28 seconds remaining in this, the first half. Wynnum lead by 7-3. Brad Sully doing it well, kicking the ball across field a little bit to chew up a bit of that time.
You'll have to put it in, bud.
It looks that way. And it'll be a Wynnum ball. Will it? Referee wants it in again. Well, that's what Souths want because it's just about on the half-time break. Down goes the scrum, however. Brad Sully to feed. In by Sully.
Knock on.
And it's half-time, and at the half-time break, we see a lead now for Wynnum-Manly over Souths of 7 points to 3. We got it. Yeah, if you want to. Matey. Andy's sweating on Meninga. He's back. No changes to the teams at the half-time break as Mal-Meninga sets the ball in motion down into the in-goal area, over the dead ball line. Play will come back onto the quarter.
That's good news for Southern Suburbs supporters. I thought during the break that they may replace Meninga, but obviously the injury is not all that bad. Must be painful, but because every time he gets tackled, he gets up with a little bit of pain in his face, but not serious.
This is Mark Zillman coming through for Wynnum-Manly. Dummy half, waiting there for it is David Green. 7-3, Wynnum-Manly leading against Southern Suburbs in this, the 82 grand final. Dummy half is Green again. To Walsh. Cross over there to French coming through. He's had a bit of strapping applied to his hand. Or wrist is it there. From the play the ball. Back over to Gary Seaton.
Ooh. Seaton
well tackled. From the play the ball this time. Back over there to Miles through his hands. Got to regather, but it's going to be a knock on. As he was shaping for the kick, I think he was on the way to the kick before he had the ball.
He had the ball in the air before he had it in his hands. He was going to really give it a reef downfield.
Well, that's been their tactics.
Could be a costly error if Souths win the scrum.
He'll be kicking into the wind in this second half. That wind, as you said before, George, just swung right around. This is Dawes. Chased across field by Alan Power. Power, the lock forward for Southern Suburbs, took care of him nicely. Johnson unloaded it to Matisse. Matisse trying to... He got it away too.
David Green on the spot.
Pulled down about 10 metres short of the halfway mark. Coming through as Seaton. Lost it. Picked up by Billy Johnston. Johnston cutting back infield. Got it away over there to Chalice. Chalice going to be pegged this time by Walsh. But that's what they wanted, Souths. The ball. From the play the ball. Over to Brad Tessman.
Oh, great tackle.
Nice tackle, all right, by Brian Walsh. Dummy half is Billy Johnston. Sully turns it back inside. Coming through is Gary Grinke. Almost up to the quarter line now. Play the ball, Johnston. Swinging it back to Sully. To Lumbey. Ash Lumbey up to the quarter line, but plenty of defence from Wynnum-Manly there. Eventually Rod Morris, the one to throw him to the ground. Billy Johnston is dummy half. Johnston to Sully. Sully across to Bruce Harry. Harry turns it away to Spencer. Final tackle coming up. From the play the ball. Belcher to Sully to Harry. Little chip kick. Back there is Colin Scott, takes it nicely. Running across field. Tessman launched himself at him now to Terry Butler. Butler well tackled over there by Thompson. There's no doubt about it, he's a crowd favourite.
Oh, yes.
Gets the ball and they are up on their toes.
Terry Butler is probably one of the best positional wingers in Brisbane.
Now this is Zillman again. 25 metres out for the Wynnum-Manly line, but Wynnum are in possession. They lead by 7-3. Dawes sending it across to Johnson, almost up the centre, back inside to Seaton.
Well, good close work there from Johnson and Seaton.
And that's more of the Wynnum-Manly that we've come to know. From the play the ball, Green. Dawes to Gene Miles, turns it back inside to Colin Scott. Scott is wrapped up by Power to Miles again, and Miles put down. Final tackle.
Southern Suburbs defence is terrific.
10 metres short of the halfway mark. Green to Rod Morris. He's going to run it out. Grinke's over there. They'll put him to the ground just about on halfway. Righto. Just over 3 3/4 minutes into this, the second half, and a penalty to Souths. Hand in the scrum. And this will allow Mal-Meninga a big kick downfield. And then Souths to apply a bit of pressure after that. Well, that should be the way it'll go. We'll see what happens.
Well, a big thing, of course, in the second half is that Meninga is still on the field, which is good news for Southern Suburbs supporters. Obviously, his injury is painful, but can't be too serious.
Okay, Billy Johnston turns it back inside, then to... Oh, coming through, Higgs, rather. Up to the quarter line is going to be tackled. Big run there by Higgs. From the play the ball now. Souths, can they take it up from here? Tessman. Who's that down to the back play, George?
Billy Johnston knocked down. I didn't see the tackle.
Coming up this time is Lash Lumbey to the dummy half. To Power. Turns it back in. Forward, yes.
Yes. That was forward. Was there any touch judges in about the tackle? I didn't.
No,
I was watching the play.
I
was watching the play, and Johnson is a little bit groggy, but he's a tough customer to take more than a hard tackle to. Here it is, as Sully. Now we'll see the replay. That was Sully.
Wynnum-Manly leading by 7-3. Coming through is David Green. From the play the ball now. Gene Miles cutting, or rather Johnson cutting across field. Green the dummy half. Feel we might get some rain before this match is over. Getting very dark here at Lang Park. Lost by Colin Scott. Oh, Higgs was just standing there looking at it. He didn't seem to be going after it at all.
I think he thought he was offside, but in these kind of situations, you jump on it and take the penalty later.
You certainly do. Almost 6 minutes into the second half here at Lang Park. Do it again. Two hookers being called out. Just over 6 minutes into the second half, Wynnum with a lead of 7 points to 3. The ball's coming out their way too. That's Dawes, quickly jumped on right on the halfway mark.
Good news for Southern Suburb supporters is that Meninga is still on the field. Didn't get replaced at half-time and is playing well.
Here's Walsh sending a big one over the top. Warren Green's back there, gets a hand to it and is quickly going to be grabbed by Chalice. Well, it looked as though it was going to be promising there for a while. Gene Miles grabbed by Meninga, hauled to the ground. Green is dummy half. Green to Rod Morris. Charging up the centre. And eventually put to the ground right on the halfway mark. Dummy half Green again. Seaton as they work the blind side. Batiste over to Green. Straight ahead. Chalice is in there. Chalice stole it from him legitimately this time.
Yes, legitimately this time. Good work, Wayne Chalice. He's having a good game.
He went in determined to get it too. Yes. So that's Ash Lumbey. Picked up and dumped to the ground. 8 metres inside Wynnum territory.
He needs some Radox tonight.
He felt that one all right. Sully now getting it on to Gary Grenke. Grenke stopped 5 metres inside Wynnum territory. Johnson from dummy half to Brad Sully, who's organising it well. Meninga outside of power. Well wrapped up though in Gary Seaton's tackle. Spencer coming through. Oh, that was... Now that's...
Actually, it was Spencer's own fault. Spencer was coming back to be dummy half. He could get it back. Coming back to be dummy half and tried to push Seaton out of the road. Seaton was quite within his rights to stay there, and he lost possession.
Here's Johnson. Over the halfway mark before he stopped, and a nice tackle by Brad Sully. 7-3 the score. Wynnum-Manly leading Souths. Dawes. Morris. Morris turns it back this time to Seaton. South's defence is great. Solid. Wynnum plugging away though. Dummy half up there is Batiste. Dawes. Walsh. Miles. Miles to French. Almost through the gap. He's had a good game in that first half for Wynnum-Manly. Been about the most dangerous player they've had. He's split the line on several occasions. Gene Miles.
Too big.
Ooh, too big. Ended up in the front row of the grandstand. Just over 8.5 minutes into the second half, and Wynnum have a lead of 7-3. That was their half-time lead.
And the good news for South supporters is that Meninga is still on the field and playing well as in the second half.
We'll get another penalty here in a moment. Yes, we do. One for Souths. Penalty Southern Suburbs. Close to the touchline again. Getting very dark out there in centre field. Nine and a half minutes into the second half. Wynnum leading by 7 points to 3. Adrian Higgs taking it up. Billy Johnston is dummy half. Johnston to Sully, then across is lost, but it'll be back, dived on by Sully.
No changes to either side during the half-time break. Meninga's still there for Southern Suburbs.
Okay, it's Johnson from dummy half. Turns it back this time to Power. Power gets it away to
Yes.
Harry. Nice pass coming on to Belcher tried to get the pass away. Meninga scooped it back to Chalice, but it's going to be carried forward.
That's quick thinking too. Meninga knew he couldn't pick the ball up himself. He just flicked it up to Chalice. Class football. Okay.
Just over 10 minutes into the second half, Wynnum-Manly holding their half-time lead of 7 points to 3 as Souths win this one. Hurry to Sully, to Spencer, then away to Meninga. Meninga straight ahead, he gets away from the tackle coming in from French. Still going as a big fellow onto the quarter line before he's going to be wrapped up.
Powerful run from Meninga, and he's got to really fire this second half.
This is Brad Sully. Got away from French on that occasion, Meninga.
Playing terrifically well. If he's carrying an injury, it's painful to him, but obviously not serious or he'd be taken off.
That's Ash Lumbey. Made some good ground, putting Wynnum-Manly under plenty of pressure now. Billy Johnston coming up as dummy half. Back to Sully. Sully running around in circles before he'll be claimed by Zillman. Dummy half is Johnston. Johnston to Harry. Harry turns it back to Higgs. Higgs to Testman, lost it. Who's got it?
Wynnum-Manly ball.
Yes, they will come away with it. Underneath all of that. And it was David Green, the man who went up with it. Colin Scott running across field. Bad miss there for Souths. Probably, do you think they're trying to do a bit too much, George?
No, I thought that it was worth the try because they were very close to the line. They were moving ahead very solidly, and had it have been just a little bit better pass, could have easily been a try beside the post, and they're in front 8-7. They're only 4 points out of it. A converted try can put them in front.
Now, this is Colin Scott, loses it. Walsh picks it up. The referee to play a knock on. Walsh letting one go at Alan Power there. And I'm sure we'll get some rain. I can see it coming through from Mount Cootha, George.
Yes, it's going to be here in the next 5 minutes or so, I'd say, and it's starting to sprinkle now.
And won't they scatter in the outer? Well, they've got nowhere to go. I suppose they've got to wear it.
I see a guy here with a red and green umbrella. He's the smartest guy on the field.
You're not wrong. Wynnum-Manly ball. Down inside their own quarter. That's Gary Seaton. Grabbed by Meninga and wrestled to the ground. David Green to dummy half. Now the rain's starting to come down. Gene Miles. Walsh. Trying to step back inside. Harry succeeds, but pulled down by Power. Nice tackle by the lock forward. Over this time to Johnson. He's done a lot of running today for Wynnum.
Straight and hard every time.
Coming up as dummy half is David Green. Back over this time to Zillman. Zillman about 5 metres from the halfway mark. Wynnum with the lead, 7-3. Back to Gene Miles. Miles is going to put the boot underneath it. Taken Aussie rule style there by Spencer. He's working across field to try and get away from the tackle of French, but he can't. Meninga coming up as dummy half now. The big fella decides to have a run himself, doesn't get far. Brian Walsh drops in underneath. Wraps him up. 7-3, Wynnum lead. That was a half-time score. Johnston, Testman, Lumbey. The second rower on the go again. Cuts back inside, still going. Couldn't get it to Thompson, however.
Having a top game, Ash Lumbey.
From the play the ball, Billy Johnston taking it up. Souths keep that momentum going. He's working across field. Gary Thompson bustling through. Opposition himself nicely, Thompson.
Good football, both sides.
Souths on the boil. Bruce Harry to no one. It was going to be Testman, but things went astray. Final tackle. Over this time to Higgs. Rucking his way up towards the quarter line before he's put down.
Might just send a cheerio call to some of the lads at in the front over there at Sinai. The boys over there, we're sending a tape over to them, to Captain Keith Morgan and Flight Lieutenant Darcy O'Connor, the rest of the gang in the 9th Squadron at Amberley. From Amberley now on duty in the Sinai. All the best boys from the Sports Department, Newsroom, and all of us at League 82.
And now we see play coming up to about 18 metres out from the Wynnum-Manly line.
A little bit of a skirmish from the scrum, but nothing serious.
Here's Ash Lumbey. Still going, the second rower. Geez, had a powerhouse game today.
Scored their only try.
Coming up is Brad Testman as dummy half. Souths putting on plenty of pressure. Losing it. Was spoiled up there by Rod Morris, and Walsh came away with it.
Professional football from Rod Morris. Really professional football. I had the honour of seeing him play his first test against England at the last series in Headingley, and boy has he improved since then.
Okay, now we see David Green with it. Johnson getting it back over there to Zillman. 25 minutes remaining in the match. The chance starting for Wynnum. But they're down inside their own quarter. They spent a bit of time down there in this half. Here's Seaton. Gee, that was good work by Morris again. He felt the tackle too, that of Tessman. From the play, the ball to Miles. Miles says, we've got to get out of this place. Deep downfield.
Oh yes.
Well taken, Spencer.
Beautifully
again.
done.
He's been as safe as a bank today. Threw away the tackle of French. French doesn't like it either because he set sail back in there after Butler had eventually tied him up.
What a final.
Gary Thompson with a bit of room to move. What's he do? Set sail up the sideline. Got up and started to go again.
Butler from the wing.
Butler got him. Now they're wrapping up this time. From the play, the ball. Thompson injured in the tackle. I think he's being helped to his feet by Belcher. Oh, coming through Johnson. I thought for one moment Power was still going to try and pass, but he didn't. Now we see Southern Suburbs midway between the quarter and halfway down inside Wynnum territory.
Kenny Spencer coming through on that occasion, and he hasn't been coming through enough as far as I'm concerned. Men over.
Here they go. Lumbee to the fore again.
Well, at least we've got two George Simon Sues to give away this afternoon, Billy. They're the best player on each side.
Only half as difficult.
Make it half as difficult, that's right.
Sully going to get away to Bruce Harry. Can the Magpies get through for this elusive try that they've been plugging away in the second half for?
Well, it's a great game, 7-3. A converted try to Souths can put them in front. But both teams are giving it their all, like any grand final should. They're both playing very intelligent football as well. I can't find too many mistakes with either side.
It'll be a Wynnum-Manly ball. Yes, Peter Dawes comes away with it.
So scrums are going Wynnum way 9-5 now. In this second half, they're going their way 4-2.
Johnson upended. Didn't make much headway on that occasion. Would be one of the few times that he hasn't in this match. Gary Seaton. The South defence is hanging on. A dour struggle here at Lang Park, and it's not all over yet. Rod Morris pulled out about 10 metres short of the halfway mark. Coming up as dummy half is David Green. Green back over there to Batiste. There's going to be some tired boys after this match. Final tackle. Wynnum have been working up towards a halfway mark. That's about as far as they've got. Now Gene Miles has got different ideas, but no, pulled out about 8 metres short of halfway.
Terrific game. I can remember back to 1972, and I'm sure the coach of Des Morris can too, because on that day, the famous Jeff Fife field goal 10 years ago, that East beat Valley here, and Morris was the captain of that team.
Okay, this is a South ball. That's Bruce Harry trying to slip through.
And it was about as tense and exciting as this one.
Peter Dawes underneath. Dummy half is Sully to Tessman. Tessman shed one tackle. That of Johnson. Couldn't get away from the next one, though.
The crowd mightn't like this spitting rain, but the players would be loving it.
You betcha. That's Higgs. South plugging away. Wynnum hanging on to their lead of 7-3. Sully picked up nicely this time by Alan Power. Got it back then to Belcher coming around. Meninga gets it away to Chalice. Chalice cuts back inside. Got it away this time to Belcher. Back to Meninga. Oh, he tried to get a one-handed pass to Chalice, but lost it.
Oh, gee. Oh, gee.
Desperation stuff.
Yes, but Southern Suburbs not out of this game by a long shot. Half of the game left. 21 minutes left, and it's 7-3, and by golly, we've got a final on our hands here.
David Green from dummy half. Going to be wrapped up by Lumbee.
I see Des Morris sending his runner out, Bruce Corey. He's obviously going to make some sort of a change.
This is Zilmore. What a crunching tackle there.
Corey can't get a message to anybody yet.
Dummy half is David Green. Wynnum lead by 7-3. Gene Miles. Wrapped up about 20 metres out from his own line. From the play, the ball. Green to Rod Morris. Over to Butler. Little bit of room to move. Sully comes at him. Slows him down. Doesn't stop him. Now he goes. Tackle from behind by Higgs. The end of the tackle counts.
And here's Bruce Corey coming onto the field. He's running off again. I don't know what he's trying to do, Des Morris, but he's trying to get some sort of a message out there. There's the Wynnum Seagulls staring up the outer. Have a look at them. Oh, great stuff.
Ball into the scrum. But the referee wants it again. Wynnum have got this one, though. That's Colin Scott.
They're winning those scrums now 11-6, and that's 6-3 second half.
Now we see Wynnum-Manly with it. David Green, a couple of metres inside Southern Suburbs territory.
A bit of a shock for someone on the outer. It's the police are attending to somebody. It looks like they've got the ambulance respirator there, and the excitement is immense. And let's hope that there's no real problems.
David Green from dummy half to Dawes. Then away to Walsh. He's lost it, and a knock on right on halfway. .21 minutes into the second half. Fred by Sully, takes it out, goes around the open side, but can't get away from the tackle of Dawes, who chased him around over there. Rain continues to tumble down. This is Spencer. Spencer to about 8 metres inside Wynnum-Manly territory. Can Souths take it up from here?
No addition to the half-time score. This is real championship stuff now with 18 minutes of play remaining. This is when the fight really begins.
This is Billy Johnston, sends it away to Sully. Oh, he was thinking about giving it outside to Higgs.
Well, Sully and Lumbey and Harry, obviously the danger men in that side.
Here he goes.
Meninga, there's Lumbey. And for Wynnum-Manly, I feel Colin Scott's not doing enough.
Up to the quarter line, final tackle coming up. Belcher. Belcher's still going, he's only got Scott to beat. No one around, and final tackle.
Brad Sully come about a quarter of a second too late. And as I was just saying, the Wynnum-Manly players have really got to lift themselves now. They've got to learn to lift themselves right now because Souths know how to do it, and they're doing it. And a try will make a lot of difference to them.
Peter Dawes lining up for the scrum. It'll be a Wynnum ball. Dawes going to be put down about 10 metres out from his own line.
David Green getting the ball when he had to.
When they were desperate for it. Coming up as dummy half is Gary Seaton. Seaton back to Walsh. Walsh to Miles, then to Butler. Butler tackled nicely this time by Thompson.
Good tackle, Gary Thompson. Those two wingers having a great duel out there.
From the play the ball now, Wynnum-Manly with Gary Seaton taking it up the centre. 7-3. Wynnum leads Souths.
Wayne Bullock on the sideline getting warmed up for Wynnum-Manly.
Okay, back it comes this time to Batiste. Some of these guys getting pretty weary out there.
I think you might find Seaton will come off, but we'll see what happens. Bullock is the replacement player anyway when he gets on there.
Dawes to Walsh to Miles, to French to Miles, doubling around.
Scott this time.
Through. Lumbey's there, and it'll be Belcher with it. Belcher held by Warren Green.
Oh, inexperience and a bit of desperation there from Scott. Should have hung on to it.
Kicked through, dived on by Tessman.
And inexperience again from Gene Miles, kicking at the ball, giving 6 tackles away.
Dummy half waiting up there. This time is Chalice. He'll send it back inside to Spencer. Spencer will be tackled by Johnson. From the play the ball, dummy half waiting for it is Billy Johnston. Johnston over there to Sully. Coming through, the big front rower, Grenke. Oh, he unloaded to Meninga. Was it Big Mel? Yes, it was. Away from dummy half, Billy Johnston. Souths putting on the pressure again. Belcher. Back well inside. Oh, Chalice taken pretty high. Yes, penalty.
It was a reflex action for mine. Chalice went inside. Here's the replay. He went inside, and Miles shoved his arm out. Miles is wrong-footed, and he jumped back into him. There's no doubt it was a little bit high, but on that occasion, when the player goes back inside so quickly, all you can do is launch yourself back inside and attempt to try and slow him down. See, Chalice is okay, but it was definitely a high tackle and deserved a penalty.
Bullock on and Batiste off for Wynnum-Manly.
Batiste is off. Oh, yes, there he goes. Well, I thought Seaton might go, but we'll see what Bullock can do.
Okay, now, Southern Suburbs. Can they cross for that try that they've been pushing away desperately for in the second half? 15 minutes remaining. As Billy Johnson takes the tap just inside the quarter line. Sully, Harry, Sully doubles around, loses it. They regather, knock on. Wynnum-Manly flying up in defence then, and that put them off a bit.
Well, as I said just before, this is the critical stage of the game. 15 minutes left. No score in the second half. Both teams getting a little bit frustrated, and it is very critical that they settle down and play the football. And here goes Dawes.
Nice covering tackle by Power, though. Gee, they're getting some scrums in this second half, Wynnum.
13-7, Wynnum way, the scrums.
Okay, this is Bullock, the replacement player. Churning up the centre. From the play the ball. Seaton.
Intercepted
by Thompson. Thompson cutting back inside. No support anywhere. But he's pulled down about 25 metres out from the Wynnum-Manly line. Well, that's what Souths need, the ball. Back over to Power, or Tessman rather. Tessman up to almost on the quarterway. Bullock coming in over the top. From the play the ball. Johnston, dummy half. Almost on the quarter. Back inside to Higgs.
By golly, has he done some work, Adrian Higgs.
Trying to fight his way through. Tessman coming up as dummy half. Wynnum with a lead of 7-3. South desperate for that try. Back inside to Grenke. Grenke pulled down 10 metres out.
Wynnum must keep him out now if they're going to win this final.
Billy Johnston coming up as dummy half. Johnston back to Sully. There's not too many men out this way, so he goes back the other way.
Speculator.
Sends it on to Belcher. Belcher going to be tackled. Can he stay in the field of play? Gets a pass in, but the flag is up.
Flag up. Oh, what a tense final, and there's plenty of action out in the field, and unfortunately, looks like we have a spectator who can't stand the pace, and they brought the ambulance through, and let's hope he's okay, or whoever it is, let's hope they're okay. Important scrum.
And it's a Wynnum-Manly ball. Referee wants it in again, though. Penalty Souths. Penalty to the Magpies.
Can't kick for goal, differential penalty. Talking to Rod Morris. Morris acknowledging the fact that he's been caught for a misdemeanour, and a chance for Southern Suburbs now. 6 tackles from this kick, and just on 13 minutes of play remaining, and as I said, down by 4 points. A converted try can put them in front 8-7. Can they do it?
Billy Johnson got plenty to say to his team up there as they attempt to try and get this try. Back to Higgs. Higgs will bring it up the centre. From the play the ball now. Dummy half Billy Johnston to Sully to Lumbey.
Lost the ball!
And it'll be a Wynnum ball. Wynnum have got it. 10 metres out. They'll end up with it though. Gene Miles was the man to do it. As it rolled loose, lost by Sully. From the play the ball, Gene Miles away from dummy half. Meninga up there. South's defence has been the feature of this second half. They've kept Wynnum down to that half most of the time.
Well, that was their game plan. They said that really Wynnum hadn't been tackled, hadn't been put any pressure on, and boy, they've tackled them and they've put some pressure on them. They're still behind, but they can still pull it out. Don't worry about that. A big kick from Miles.
Going to be taken back there by Ken Spencer. By golly, he's been saved.
Greasy ball and all, and he's taken it like a true professional.
Going to be put down about 10 metres short of that halfway mark, though. And that makes it a long way for South to go from there. Anyway, we'll see. Brad Tessman didn't go too far forward. Crunch back in the tackle by French. Gary Thompson from dummy half over to Sully. Sully unloads to Lumbey. Lumbey about 10 metres from the halfway mark. Still Wynnum lead by 7 points to 3. 11 minutes remaining in the match. Sully to Harry. Harry getting it away then to Belcher. From the play the ball, dummy half is Higgs. Higgs swinging back over there to Harry. There's no real backline for Souths.
No one there.
Brad Tessman gets it back this time. Oh, that was a bit dicey. Picked up by Sully. And eventually Ash Lumbey coming through.
Oh, the defence is really tired, and the players are really lifting themselves at this particular moment of the game. Oh, a bit of room for Butler. This could be dangerous.
Oh, gee, went close to knocking it on, but
no,
he
didn't touch the ground.
And pulled to the ground right on the halfway mark. Boy, we've had plenty of excitement here today. The big crowd certainly haven't been disappointed. That's Bullock trying to take it up for Wynnum-Manly.
Only 1 try apiece, and Green's kicked 2 out of 2, and Meninga's missed 2 out of 2.
That's Rod Morris. 12 metres inside Southern Suburbs territory. Dummy half Green. Green to Seaton. Slips over as he tries to cut back inside.
I hope this stand of solid construction, Billy. There's a bit of noise out there.
I'm a little bit worried. People with a bit more weight seem to fall faster than the others. Here's Wynnum-Manly. With Gene Miles putting the boot right underneath it. Back over the head of Spencer. He lets it bounce.
Oh!
Walsh! He tackled Walsh.
What about that?
David Green trying to get through. Held up. The only blemish that Spencer's made today, and it could prove costly. Bullock, it will if they can get it away, but they can't. Knocked down.
6 to go.
Getting it back to Miles.
Well, when Miles kicked that ball, I thought to myself, what a stupid kick. And it was really, except that Spencer, unfortunately, his only blemish, lost the ball.
Okay, here's Mark Zillman charging for the line.
And you'll see Morris inject himself any moment.
Here's Wynnum-Manly in possession. They're only about 7 metres out. A try here will wrap it up. David Green trying to force his way through.
Using Morris as a decoy on that occasion.
Dummy half waiting for it is Zillman. 7-3 the score. Wynnum leading. Just under 9 minutes remaining. Gene Miles. Walsh.
Oh!
That's it. Prince is in and it's over.
Oh, there it is. There it is. The green and red horde of the outer at Lang Park. What a day for Wynnum-Manly. Have a look at them, will you? They have gone crazy. They have gone absolutely crazy. Brett French has scored the try. The dancing magpie in the outer is doing back somersaults. And Brett French, the try scorer. And what a great season he's had. And what a great team try all round. Here it is. The perfect pass. Scores the try. Gene Miles. Brian Walsh. Walsh, the great game he's had. French, and once French has hit the ball, it's all over. Shut the gate. 2 tries, 10 points to 3, and all from unfortunately, from a mistake from Kenny Spencer. Brett French is not feeling real well. We'll take the kick and come back with the front on replay. Stay with us.
Jeez, which?
Warren Green, who's kicked 2 out of 2. Can he make it 3 out of 3?
On its way up there.
13 points. 12 points to 3. And here's the try once again from front on. You'll see the work that Walsh does. Here it goes. Quick hands was on. Gene Miles, watch Walsh. Dances, then away it goes. Once again, perfect football. The pass beating the man. And in the try goes. 12 points to 3. Wynnum-Manly leading, back with the football.
Okay, well, that's just about wrapped it up now. Just under 7 minutes to go, and I perish to think what's going to happen at the end of the game, George. I've just about pulled the fence down here.
Well, I'm pleased I'm up here, and I'm pleased I haven't got to get home in a hurry. And I've got a red shirt on anyway. I better find a green hat or something.
David Green from the play the ball. On to Bullock. Bullock almost through but lost his balance.
Brad Sully named by the referee. You're wondering why Sully didn't tackle him. Sully named by the referee. You're offside. He had let him run past him.
Miles putting the boot down there. Spencer, who will dream about that ball, I'm sure.
Oh, this has been a great game. Souths have won the 3rd grade, by the way, 22 points to 3. And what a game in reserve grade. Redcliffe winning by 11 points to 10 over Valleys. And it was a real cliffhanger as the score indicated.
Souths have lost possession on this occasion. Wynnum with it. 6 minutes remaining in the match. Gene Miles. Bullock held up, got up to Dawes. Dawes about 10 metres inside. Southern Suburbs territory. Way to Seaton. Seaton got to be tackled. From the play the ball this time. Back to Dawes. Dawes decides to go himself. Dawes will be pulled over 30 metres out from the south line. Rain continues to fall here at Lang Park. Morris back inside to Seaton. Seaton over the quarterway. Nice tackle though. Pulled to the ground over there by Brad Tessman. Back in centre field to Dawes. Walsh put head down, trying to sneak through.
Might just reflect on a few things. Southern Suburbs, it seems that Wynnum-Manly will win their first grand final. Southern Suburbs can hold their head very high, I can tell you that. They've played tremendous this afternoon without their skipper and captain Bruce Astle, and great performances from every player in that team.
Waiting for the scrum to pack down just inside the Southern Suburbs quarter line. 12-3, Wynnum lead, Souths ball, coming across to Spencer. Spencer is eventually put to the ground. 25 metres out from the Souths line. From dummy half this time is Belcher. Dummy half coming up is Billy Johnston, Sully. Some of these South players really starting to feel the pinch now, and you can't say you blame them. It's hard enough when you're leading by 9 points to keep going, but when you're trailing, it's doubly difficult. Waiting now for Higgs's dummy half to Sully, then across to Harry. Harry gets it away to Tessman. Tessman trying to get a pass back inside, and it'll be Rod Morris's ball.
And I'd say Des Morris goes down, goes into history really, because he coached the first Wynnum team, but also outside of Bob Bax and Henry Holloway, he's the only coach in the last 40 years that as he goes Scott inside, the only coach in the last 40 years that has coached two different clubs to premiership wins. There's Des. His career started here. His first grand final here was in 1968. He led East to the grand final, captained them in 1972, captain coach of East 77-78, and now he's come out as a sideline coach with a very worried look on his face, and that is a great career, Des Morris. Congratulations.
I don't know what he's worried about. Back inside to Harry. I suppose he thinks, well, while there's 3 minutes of play remaining, but I don't think he's got any worries.
They have to score 2 converted tries, Souths.
The only worry we've got to try to get out of the place. Could take a week.
It's a tribute to the game and to those guys, to Des Morris and Bob McCarthy. As I said on Sports World, 2 of the nice guys in league, 2 great players, 2 great competitors in their days, both playing in premiership sides, and to come out with these 2 teams today, well conditioned and great football, no spite, no rough stuff, just good football. That's what we like to see. Meninga puts the kick in.
Well, he's got to try something. Going back there is Brian Walsh. Walsh will take it. Straight up to Belcher. Chalice coming across. Walsh eventually claimed by Meninga on the halfway mark.
Just reflecting on the season, Billy, we've seen some great football here at Lang Park this year. And the State League, of course, the first year, that's going to be great next year. It's going to be bigger and better than ever. And the football at Lang Park has been terrific. And we look forward next year, of course, and having the exclusive rights to broadcast the game. Will be on the same time at 6:30. And it'll be great football next year as well, I'm sure of that.
All around the corner nicely to Colin Scott.
It took 78 minutes to get one away, but he got one there.
Did it well. Coming up as dummy half is David Green. This crowd are just waiting to really go off when that full-time hooter goes. And that's only 1 minute 48 seconds away. Final tackle coming up. Bullock is the dummy half. Bullock will send it across to Rod Morris. Morris almost through. Back to North. It's away.
Yes.
The halfback is in. Underneath the post.
Oh. Rodney Morris, and there's Des. Des is pretty happy now. He's pretty happy now. And 3 tries. That's tied it right up. DJ's clapping himself, getting congratulated from everybody. And obviously talking to 4BC at the moment. But look at Rod Morris. Rod Morris got the pass away to Dawes. Mark Zillman's congratulating him. And boy, are they happy. And isn't it great for football? Here it is. Watch the pass from Morris. He'll be on the kangaroo tour. The first man picked, I'd say. 2 hands to it. Nearly on the ground, and Dawes goes through. Grinky just can't get hold of him. And Peter Dawes got the biggest grin on the face you ever seen in your life. He can't wait to get to them goal posts and put the ball down. And that's 15 points to 3 and 3 tries to 1 with a simple kick to come. We'll take the kick and come back with the replay once again. Gene Miles congratulating Dawes. And look at the crowd in the outer. The red and green streamers. Greens kicks over. 17 points to 3. It's worth looking at again from front on because you'll see what Rod Morris does with the ball. Where's the front on replay? Watch Rod Morris. Terrific international, this fella. Now he gets the ball at 2 hands, almost down on 1 knee, and away goes Dawes. Couldn't believe his good fortune. As I said, look at the grin. He can't stop smiling, and that he might well keep doing as well. Final seconds of the game, Billy Smith.
Counting it down with 7, 6, 5,
Billy Smith.
Counting it down with 7, 6, 5. And it's all over. Wynnum-Manly, the 1982 grand final winners, have defeated Souths by 17 points to 3.
And there it is, Des Morris, the man on the sideline. What a happy boy. And my 2 George Simon suit winners. If we can find them in the melee, we probably can't. DJ's almost crying, I think. Great performances from everybody, but you've got to pick out 2 players, and it's very hard to do on grand final day. Breathing in and out Des Morris. I'd say for Southern Suburbs, my player of the game, Ash Lumbey. Top game from the second rower, Ash Lumbey. Never stopped trying, scored their try, almost scored another one. There he is. And on the wing for at the 5/8 position for Wynnum-Manly, Brian Walsh. Walsh coming into his own, and what a great game. Rodney Morris being chaired from the field. So my 2 George Simon suit winners, the two top players in this 82 grand final. For Wynnum-Manly, Brian Walsh, and for Southern Suburbs, Ash Lumbey. It was great to be here.
You're not wrong. Well, we'll be back here again next year, of course, and as George said a few minutes ago, Channel O will be here exclusively next year, and we'll be showing the games at 6:30. So till we're back with you for Rugby League in 1983, and this stage, Billy J. Smith thanking our crew for a top-class job. They've given us some excellent pictures for you at home. We'll leave you now from Lang Park. Be back in 1983.
Great stuff.